Good evening. This is Freep and Creep Talk Part 1. I had to redo the video, learned a little bit more information, and wanted to set the record straight about a couple of things. Hence, I'm here with my friend, the Rich Gold Deposit. It will specifically focus on the Atomors. On top of that, Diminishing Returns, Spider will be featured, and Lore Master Roots in general. So let's get started. For the people who don't know, Atomors, these numbers, or letters, sorry, are the creep maps. Bit of a history. Whenever we were 34, creeps got the ability to enter the moors and start their quests to gather gold. There were a couple of things bugged, which everybody abused, and they got hundreds of thousands of destiny points. Quite a bit of gold on top of that. There was martial on in the elf camp, like a 30-minute respawn, and the quests could be repeated. It's a bit of a clusterfuck. You know, whoever abused it, shame, shame. Anyway, on top of having their destiny points ready for the next year, creeps were also allowed to finish all their maps, and that is kind of a big deal because not only will the Atomors feel empty because they're no longer questing, they can also be at any point at any given time. If they are, doing a quest run, or if they are sitting in front of GV and a lore master is spotted in Hobbitville, they map to either Crude or Good, and they can be here within a minute. Now imagine a Freep doing that on horseback. You won't even reach it within 5 minutes. It's quite a long walk. And this can be extrapolated to playstyle. Whereas the Oak, which is kind of like the channel people creeps talk in, or people talk in, the Oak channel of creeps has callouts, has planning, a strategy. The Freep Oak channel is dead, is quiet. Nobody cares. It's irrelevant to them. Freeps will enter the moors in a small fellowship, solo. They will roam around a bit. They will see if they can find a fight that is fair, and then leave. They don't quest. They don't just hang around. This is their. They want to get ranks. They want to have a fun fight. That's it. Creeps want to get ranks too. If they weren't given the 34 option, they would quest to get their maps. Or they want to get gold to buy potions. It's kind of the reasons they play. Now, because the playstyles differ so much, we come back to probably one of the bigger mistakes that I think has been made. That during the glorious PvP testing, the PvMP testers, in their infinite wisdom, equalized the playing field. And this is not a bad thing on itself, but if you factor in the different playstyles and the way that creeps respond and freeps respond, it will never be equal. And that has not been factored in. Sure, we are 41, and you can make the argument that the lore master can solo anything, but even that right now is not entirely true. And we are only 41. Like, I already see the responses, but it's not going to be that much of a difference. Right now I have 2.2k, 2.3 at 50 with best in slot gear. I might have 3.2, maybe 3k, like around that. it's not going to be that big of a deal. It's really irrelevant. And this is talking about somebody who will min-max. Most Freeps will, even at 50, will enter the Moors with 2k. Their damage will increase a little bit, but again, so will creeps. And it doesn't matter if you are fighting with 3 people against 6, 7, 8 creeps, because this is what is the inevitable result. Then an equal playing field is it's impossible, practically impossible. And you can't blame the creeps for playing the way they do, because if we would have had maps, we would have done the same. And this is coming from somebody that's PvP'd quite a bit recently, right? I mean, just the deaths alone will factor in that I have learned how creeps behave in the metaverse. Now, quick summary. Creeps were allowed to enter at 34. We are only 41. And creeps are given a buff. So we equalized the playing field. We gave creeps no reason to quest anymore. And we are weaker than we intend to be. Result, people leave the moors. Freeps leave the moors because it's not fun. So, because they either have like 3 options, right? And this, just to kind of reiterate again, there's a group of creeps that always sits outside of GV, just camps. There are wargs that are ready to sprint and catch you, so you can't run out. Okay, if you do make it out, which is really not that difficult, but if you do make it out with your group, you go into Horhallow. Somebody will have spotted you. You might be able to get 1 kill here, real quick, and then you have to dip. Because if you don't, these guys are gonna map to here. Well, probably to here. They're gonna meet you. You're gonna die. You can either run this whole quest route, you can check the Norbox, same thing. Bears, same thing. It is impossible to get around the hordes of creeps. And they play very strategically, they play very well. Even if you escape here in your right, they will map to good TA to catch you again. It's very, not even impressive, but it's just very logical what they're doing. Okay, I think this shouldn't be beaten any further to death. Yeah, don't make the Moors equal, because it's never going to be equal. And if you are making it equal in damage proportions, then, well, creeps win. Okay, well, that's done. Let's go to spiders. Man, spiders, the bane of a lore master's existence. I want to talk specifically about the ensnaring web. So I've been told that right now it doesn't break on damage, and that in book 12 it starts to break on damage. And I'm not entirely on board with this. I read, for example, if you go to Spider Weaver, we go to the skills, ensnaring web. Well, lame. It's an 8-second route. That's basically the description. It doesn't say anything more really. It routes your target for 8 seconds. And then if you go to something comparable to Lore Master, it pretty much says similar, right? Blah blah blah, lore wise, and then it routes your targets. Routes the target. Okay, great. So we have similar descriptions. But now I am to believe that Spider Root will never break on damage, and it will be introduced in book 12. I'm not on board, but let's just go on the difficult English words that I don't know right now. That it is. Just let's accept that it is. And then book 12 introduces the double of the duration and a chance on breaking on damage. So both a buff and a nerf, basically. And then later with book 13, the rank 4 trait, this one, gets a buff. So this one makes it less likely to break on damage, plus the 8 seconds. That's what it basically says here. I don't think the developer should wait to implement this. If it really doesn't break on damage, right now, which it doesn't, right? Well, I've been testing it. Look, this is my friend Spidey. No, we're not the same account. This is just a buddy. He's attacking me, and it doesn't break on damage. It roots for 8 seconds. Now here comes the atrocious bit, right? He apply diminishing returns, real quick. Diminishing returns mean that upon breaking of the CC, whatever it is, 45-second countdown starts. And if you apply it after, the diminishing returns will not factor in. If you apply it before or during the countdown, the diminishing returns kick in. And then the 45 seconds starts again. So right now I was rooted for 8 seconds. His cooldown on the skill is 30 seconds. About 35 seconds pass, and then he will reapply it. There you go, reapply. And it's still 8 seconds again. We can just check the countdown, right? It's still 8 seconds. So spider roots do not have diminishing returns. Well, that's a bit scuffed, to say the least. Because here's what that entails. And again, I don't understand how this has escaped the PvP testers. What that means is that with the buff of rank 4, 2 spiders can root you in place indefinitely. And one spider, it's really funny in a way. Where is it? There's this, what is it? Not that one. Is it the trait? Spiders have an ability to CC you for 10 seconds. And it's like a countdown. It's a poison effect, and I can't find it right now. Doesn't matter. Because I don't know the class that well, but I think it might be latent poison upon. It's definitely not this one, but probably latent poison. When it expires, it will CC you for 10 seconds. So even one spider can root you, then attack you for 16 seconds if they're ranked 4, then have the 10 seconds expiration on their buff go off. So you're CC'd for another 10 seconds. And they only need to wait 4 seconds before they can root you again for another 16 seconds. Imagine you're champion. Imagine you're any other class. There is no counterplay to this. This is atrocious at best. And coming from a lore master, even we aren't that overpowered. Alright, well, yeah. Please, developers, if you do hear this, have a look at the spider root. Just have it break on damage, man. If not, I'm gonna start playing a spider, and I'm gonna terrorize everybody until you fix it. Alright, spiders. That's done for now. Please fix it. Okay, so actually I want to talk about diminishing returns real quick. So I explained how diminishing returns work. They applied diminishing returns of book 14, I believe. But I'm not entirely sure what parts they applied. Because right now, if I attack a... Actually, let's do this. If I attack a monster player or any other player, just not NPCs, my CC goes as follows. It starts with 30 seconds, the full duration, which is 100%. Then it goes to 22.5, 75%. It goes to 15, which is 50%. 15 seconds, by the way, like seconds, 30 seconds, 22. Then it goes to 7 seconds, which is the 25%. And then finally it reaches 1 second. This is currently how my CC on creeps works. I cannot factor this in anywhere. Because it should apply to this, right? But first application is 100%, not 50%. Second application is 75%. So there's something missing here, and I think the developers will have to look this over. The diminishing returns on Lore Master is just not working, and this is a bit of a self-report. But yeah, have a look at it. If you are applying the book 14 diminishing returns, then you know you did it wrong. If there's some other book I missed, then I apologize. But have a look at diminishing returns because they're definitely not working. And for creeps, they're just not working. I mean, mental. Okay, now that is done. Don't have to beat that to death. Let's talk about Lore Master roots. I've reported this before. I've reported the stealth that didn't work as well. And I was shown the door, and then like a month later they fixed it. I made a video back then as well, and it really helped. I think sometimes, right, when you get a lot of reports and people don't really put a lot of effort or time in it, it might be easier to just say, well, we're not going to look into it because we have 1,000 other things to do. So I'm not blaming the developers for not fixing it immediately. Because the first report is probably something along the lines of tell bug spiders are not working with roots. Anyway, that's just an inside joke. Lore Masters. This Lore Master made me want to play this class. It's an overpowered class. It's a phenomenal design. Probably the best one in any MMO I've seen. He soloed Gold Bear in September 27, 2008. It's around book 14, before Moria. Lore Master roots haven't changed. So whatever works in book 14 should have worked in book 11 as well. I took this point specifically, but throughout the whole fight you will kind of see that the resist chance is my guess on roots around 15%, or the break chance on roots is around 15%, but that's my personal guess. Right now he rooted, just so you can see the debuff here. He rooted and he's gonna attack it, and we're gonna count how many times he can attack it and what happens with the root. And this is one. This is a second application of roots. 2. Resist. But the dots did take off burning embers, so 3, because the root is still there. Resist again, and the root's reapplied, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there you go, root reapplied. So 3 times root didn't break. This is 4. I am just counting up, because even though he reapplies the root, it doesn't mean that if you have 15% chance, a reapplication doesn't mean that suddenly you have less or more chance. It's still 15%. And so I just keep counting. This is 4. 5. 6. Dot ticked as well. 7. 8. 9. Dot ticked again. Windlaw reset. Resisted. Both resisted. And then, so on the 11th hit, the root broke. I have played Lore Master since the very start of open beta. That has never happened. That just doesn't exist. I've asked all the Lore Masters, that doesn't happen. Hence, I want to showcase, because just to kind of prove my point. Okay, so the Lynxes were dying a bit too quick. It's better to test it on these guys. Albeit a bit more annoying, difficult, but if I die, you can have a good laugh. Oopsie. Okay, so they all hit right now. Just reset it. And there we go. So out of 4, how many are gonna resist? How many are gonna break? That's a 50% chance. Let's try this again. Right, because they all got resetted, yeah. Okay. Again, 50%. I just have to there we go. All right. Another try. Resisted. So 50, 50. And well, this is 100% success out of 3. Oh, and now everything broke except that one. So again, 50. So 100 and 0. So basically 50% chance. Let's try this one more time. 3. Jesus. Yeah, so that's 25. And I mean, like, this is only 4 targets, and I'll probably say if you try this 1,000 times, you will get a more of a 50% break chance rather than a 75% break chance. But it's a far fetch from hitting 11 times and not breaking once. And if you watch through the whole video, like, it's really immense. Either he is the luckiest on the planet, or the developers have fiddled with the numbers, guessed something. And I'm not advocating to buff lore masters. I'm merely saying that if you want to do no changes, you need to do no changes. And specifically for PvE, no, don't change it. The root breaks too easily. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. We've gone through it. Talked about the Atomors, talked about spiders, talked about lore masters. Next time I'll have a look at black arrows. Their root is also has no diminishing returns, and war leaders. Probably more about the power regen, like getting a tank healer. It's kind of scuffed. But anyway, thank you if you have made it to the end, and if you have any questions, just reach out to me in game. Don't do it on YouTube. I don't read the comments. This is more an educative video, not anything to grow. The production quality is immensely low because I just don't care. Alright, have a good one. GG.